Hey Cowboys Nation, let's go for another round of news from America's team. Watch until the end so you don't miss any news and sign up to stay tuned for everything that comes out about the Cowboys.
Cowboys' CeeDee Lamb takes shot at very weird play calling. To start things off, it looked like it would be one of those games for Cowboys star receiver CeeDee Lamb. In the first two drives that Dallas put forth, Lamb was targeted with 5 passes and made 4 catches. He racked up 93 yards receiving, including a 49-yard catch and run from Dak Prescott for the Cowboys' first touchdown, the one that staked Dallas to a 7-3 lead in the game. But then, nothing. For 2 quarters, not only did Lamb not record any catches, but Prescott and the Cowboys did not target Lamb at all. So what happened? Did the Dolphins throw a defensive wrinkle out there to confound Lamb and the Cowboys? Did Miami star defensive back Jalen Ramsey, who arrived at the game trolling the Cowboys by wearing a mighty fine cowboy hat, lock in on Lamb? Nope. And the lack of Lamb was a key factor in Dallas' disappointing 22-20 loss in Week 16 on Sunday. They wasn't doing anything, Lamb said at his locker after the game. I don't know. I just felt like, if I am going to be involved, just keep me involved. And in the game, do what they gotta do. But yeah, I agree. It was weird, that second and third quarter. Very weird. CeeDee Lamb passed 5,000 yards on Sunday. Making matters a bit worse was the fact that Lamb reached a milestone in the game, topping 5,000 career yards. As Pro Football Focus put out on its Twitter X feed, WRs with 5,000-plus scrimmage yards in their first 4 seasons. Jerry Rice, Torrey Holt, Randy Moss, Michael Thomas, Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys did, eventually, go back to Lamb in the fourth quarter, but with little luck. He had 5 targets but only 2 catches, for 25 yards. He also had a critical false start penalty on a play that would have given the Cowboys a first down in the red zone in the third quarter. Lamb, on the play, moved backward to make sure he was not offsides, but did so while another Cowboy was in motion. Can't have 2 guys in motion at the same time. So the first down was erased and the Cowboys settled for a field goal that made the score 16-10, Dolphins. Always want to come up with a win, Lamb said. Obviously, tough games, tough situations. Learn a lot in these type of games and I know that we're gonna bounce back. This narrative about us not winning away is strange but true. But we know what we gotta do. We gotta be great. Continue to be who we are and change that narrative coming down the stretch. Cowboys dropped to 3-5 away from home. The narrative, of course, is the notion that the Cowboys can't beat good teams on the road. It's not so much a narrative as a fact though. Dallas is 3-5 on the road and 7-0 at home. We gotta live with it, Lamb said. The things we put out in this season, we gotta own it. I'm not opposed to it because once again, the things that we've done away haven't been nearly what we've accomplished at home. But it really don't matter where we play. We gotta be able to overcome adversity, no matter if it is a hostile environment or not. Cowboys travel well, so pretty much every away game is a home game. Shout out to the fans for that. But what we gotta do it on the field. One way to do that would be for the Dallas offense to not forget it has CeeDee Lamb on its side. If there was one thing that Lamb took as a positive, it is that the team managed to take the lead, 20-19, with a touchdown late in the game before the Dolphins won it with a field goal. It proves who we are, Lamb said. We are definitely a team that is ready for those type of moments, the big games. I don't doubt that one bit. We have great playmakers in all levels of the game, you know? I trust them boys with my life. For us to come up short is very unfortunate. We gotta go back to the drawing board but we gotta come up with these type of games. That's just what it is. Cowboys could strike quarterback trade with Raiders. The Dallas Cowboys could be in the quarterback trade market given the team has 3 quality signal callers. As Dak Prescott enters the final season on a 4-year, $160 million contract, Cowboys rumors continue to swirl that the team will look to sign the quarterback to a long-term extension this offseason. This leaves Trey Lance and Cooper Rush as potential trade candidates if the Cowboys are looking to save some money by carrying 2 signal callers. Heavy Sports has discussed Lance's potential trade value, but Rush is also a veteran quarterback that could have some appeal around the league. One team to watch could be the Raiders, who were in pursuit of the Cowboys' signal caller during 2023 free agency. Rush was scheduled to fly to Las Vegas to meet with the AFC West squad before reaching a new agreement with Dallas. Bad weather delayed his flight, ESPN's Todd Archer wrote in an April 4, 2023 article. Bad weather, a delayed flight, and kismet? How Cooper Rush's deal with Cowboys got done. One delay was followed by another. And another. He spent hours at the airport, checking his phone, wondering if he was ever going to get on the plane. After going 4-1 last season as the Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback while Dak Prescott recovered from thumb surgery, Rush was a hot commodity in free agency. He was flying to Las Vegas that day to meet with the Raiders, and the Cincinnati Bengals also expressed interest and hoped to set up a visit. NFL rumors. Dallas Cowboys QB Cooper Rush makes sense as a trade fit for the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders ended up trading for Jimmy Garoppolo, who does not appear to be the team's long-term solution at quarterback. Las Vegas faces a challenge in that the top 3 quarterbacks in the 2024 NFL Draft could all be off the board by the time the Raiders are on the clock. Heading into Week 16, Las Vegas is slated to have the number 12 pick. Caleb Williams, Drake May and Jaden Daniels are expected to fly off the board. Rush could represent part of a potential Raiders solution given his team-friendly deal. The veteran has one more season remaining on a 2-year, $5 million contract. Rush is slated to have a $2.8 million cap hit in 2024, more than reasonable even if the quarterback is unable to win the starting spot in Vegas. Cowboys rumors. Will Dallas look to trade Cooper Rush or Trey Lance? Lance's cap hit is slated to jump significantly to $5.3 million in 2024. Prescott's current cap hit for next season is $59.4 million, but this unlikely to be the actual number as the team moves towards an extension. These sizable financial ramifications are partially why 33rd team's Connor Livesay made the case for Dallas exploring a trade for Lance over Rush. Either quarterback offers a viable backup for Dallas behind Prescott. While Dallas could slide Lance into the QB2 role next season, Rush is under contract for just $2.87 million against the cap, according to Spotrac. Livesay detailed in a December 8 article titled, Surprising NFL Players Who Could Be Traded This Offseason. If the Cowboys stick with Rush at QB2, they could start calling quarterback-needy teams that missed out on Caleb Williams, Drake May and Jaden Daniels in the 2024 NFL Draft. Lance might raise the ceiling on Dallas' QB2 spot, but the Cowboys could get a better return for Lance than what they paid from teams such as the Minnesota Vikings, New Orleans Saints or Seattle Seahawks. If those teams miss out on the top passers in the draft, they could see Lance as a viable option. Cowboys' Micah Parsons fires off on refs after Dolphins loss. Micah Parsons is not a happy camper following the Dallas Cowboys' latest loss. After the Cowboys came up just short in their 22-20 loss to the Miami Dolphins in Week 16, the two-time Pro Bowl linebacker couldn't hold back on his displeasure with the officiating. Parsons called some of the penalties mind-blowing following the game. Via John Makota of The Athletic. It's mind-blowing, the things that are getting called, and the positions that we get put in, said Parsons on Sunday, December 24. We just have to learn how to fight the adversity. I know a lot of it is BS, but it's the world we live in. We've got the star on our helmet. Ellipsis. It's just hard to play defense. Although there wasn't a major disparity in penalties called between both teams, Dallas was called for 6 penalties for 38 yards in comparison to Miami's 5 penalties for 33 yards. Parsons was likely peeved over a roughing the passer call on him during the Dolphins' touchdown drive at the end of the first half. A flag was thrown on Parsons' hit on Tua Tagovailoa despite merely shoving him to the ground shortly after the quarterback threw the ball on a key 2nd and 1 play from the Cowboys' 9-yard line. The penalty resulted in an automatic first down at Dallas' 4-yard line, resulting in a touchdown pass from Tagovailoa to Raheem Mostert on the next play. Micah Parsons sounds off on controversial penalty. Parsons sounded off on that particular play during the post-game presser. The ref said my intent was to punish the quarterback, said Parsons. How am I trying to punish him if I'm just trying to sack him? It's not like it was a late hit. It's not like I'm leaving my feet. I didn't lead with my head. I don't know how you make that call. It's hard to argue against Parsons' point, considering the hit itself wasn't egregious by any means. Had the penalty not been thrown, the Dolphins would have been forced to convert on a key 3rd and 1 conversion. The Cowboys would have also been given the chance to stop Miami in that situation, which could have resulted in a 4-point swing, with the Dolphins settling for a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown. Regardless, the Cowboys' defense did have an opportunity at the end of the game to stop the Dolphins' offense with the game on the line while leading 20-19. However, Dallas allowed Miami to drive 64 yards down the field to convert on the game-winning field goal as time expired. Mike McCarthy remains confident in Cowboys despite latest road loss. The Cowboys' road woes did not come to an end in this game. While Dallas certainly played much better than they did a week prior during their 31-10 loss to the Buffalo Bills on the road, they still came up short as they dropped to 3-5 in away games this season. Despite their latest setback, head coach Mike McCarthy remains confident in his squad. "It was a juggernaut game," said McCarthy. "That's what we expected. It's a challenge in these games because you know it's gonna come down to one play. And they probably made a play or two more than we did. It was a hard-fought game. We may have to go on the road, obviously, to get this done. I think we got a lot that we can draw from this. We got to play better than we did today, because you have to play above it on the road, and road warriors we will be." With the Cowboys dropping to 10-5 and the Philadelphia Eagles playing one of the easiest remaining schedule in the NFL with games against the 5-9 New York Giants and 3-12 Arizona Cardinals, Dallas will likely have to go on the road during their entire postseason run. They'll hope to carry over their strong play in Miami by winning on the road in the playoffs.